of 22 contests, 13 wins, 3 of those wins coming inside the scheduled distance with 8 defeats and 1 draw. Please welcome boxing out of the Bristol Boys Gym, hailing from Northampton, Alan Bosworth. And across the ring in the red corner, this young man hardly needs any introduction at all. He's wearing these solid black shorts. At the weigh-in he scaled 10 stone 2 1/2 pounds. He has an outstanding professional record of 23 contests, 22 wins, 17 of those wins coming inside the scheduled distance, with only the 1 solitary defeat. From Liverpool, presenting the former WBU light welterweight champion of the world, he's back, the Shamrock Express, Shea Neary. Your timekeeper at the bell is Mr. Ray Rice from Surrey, and your referee is one of the world's most outstanding referees, Mr. Roy Francis from Kent. This is 10 3-minute rounds.
What? Now look at me. No, look at me, not him.
Final instructions from Roy Francis. Interesting, that business of Shea Neary's weight at the weigh-in. The fight was made at 10 stone 4. He came in at 10 7.5, had to go away again and lost fully 5 pounds in an hour. Bosworth, he was okay, 10 2 3/4. What does Neary weigh here? He must be nearly like a light middleweight by the time of the fight, because the weigh-in was 1 o'clock yesterday.
Yeah, I think that's maybe another nail in the coffin of the idea that weigh-ins 30 hours before the fight. Not fair to the fellas who are doing the job properly. And tonight that's Mr. Bosworth here.
As if Bosworth didn't have enough problems, because he's a fighter really from a couple of levels below Shea Neary, who's looking to get back on the winning track after that brave defeat against Mickey Ward, a memorable fight. Just the question, I suppose, hanging in the air, how much that took out of Shea Neary.
I think we have to remember that Shea Neary has been brought up on tough fights. He's never been mollycoddled in his life, so he expects that the fight game's tough. He expects it to be tough, so probably he's thrown all effects, certainly all mental effects. Physically, I'll be surprised if it's had a lasting mark on him.
Bosworth will come in here dreaming dreams, I'm sure. Will have prepared himself very well for it, as his weight would tend to suggest.
I would have expected Neary to come back against a bigger fellow, to be honest. I would have expected him to be giving away weight in his comeback fight, give him something of a physical challenge, if you like, because you have to expect him to be far too strong for Bosworth.
Neary in the black trunks, the Shamrock Express, as he's known in the trade. Really is a lethal body puncher, but he found one who was just as lethal in Mickey Ward. Bosworth, who's performed respectably against good opponents, stopped in 8 by Colin Dunn, in 5 by Wayne Rigby. Jan Bergman, the world-class South African, knocked him out in 6. He was down twice and cut in that fight. Sometimes vulnerable to body shots, Bosworth.
Well, Neary likes some room to get his punches off. He's not really a short puncher, so Bosworth maybe fancies this because he keeps trying to get up close. I think he feels safer right up close than he does at arm's length.
Neary's been in training, we're told, for this for 10 weeks. And the camp are absolutely determined to get a rematch with Mickey Ward, which may be a pretty tough option, but that's what they want. Promoters won't argue.
Well, as I said a minute ago, he's always done it the hard way, and I don't expect him to change now, and that's why he commands so much respect in the game.
Gets him with a little left hand in close, Neary. Bosworth giving it a good go, though, in that first round. Oh, few verbals after the bell. He really does mean business, doesn't he? sort. And we've got a spicy start here. Just look at this little exchange at the end of the round between Bosworth and Neary.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking good on you, Alan, but if Shea's in a decent mood, I think I'd be inclined to leave him in a decent mood, but he wants to change that.
You only get paid for the 3 minutes. Here's round 2. Black trunks, remember, Shea Neary of Liverpool. Still could be a lot of big fights out there for him. At what weight has to be a question. How much longer can he drive himself down to make light welterweight? He has to virtually kill himself to get there, and it is a worry. Struggling for his timing a little, Neary here.
Yeah, his punches look a little bit slow, but even on his best days, his punching's a little bit slow. They're powerful. He's a little bit deliberate with his shots, but it's worked for him so far.
It's good effort from Bosworth so far, holding his own. He's won 4 out of 7 since he was beaten by Jan Bergman. A couple of defeats in Denmark, including one when he fought the son of the promoter. Not a good idea, that.
Well, Bosworth opened up a little bit more in this round. He's not trying to get close and spoil. He's trying to trade a little bit more. So that should please Neary a little bit, I would think.
Neary trying to get his jab going. Absolute fitness fanatic, Neary. There's no kind of talent really as an amateur. He's made himself into a world-class operator through sheer hard work, really, and bloody mindedness. Bosworth going for it, but missing with a lot of them. I'd love to know what these two weighed tonight, and I don't think we're going to find out that information. Often the board do weigh the fighters on the night of the fight these days as they try to monitor fighters' weights. It's obviously a safety consideration.
Well, already Bosworth making a better go of it than I expected. I looked at this fight on paper and wondered if he may be intimidated a little bit by the strength and punching power of Neary, but it's quite the opposite. He's having a good go.
Well, I think he sees it as a big opportunity. Looks like that, doesn't it?
Yep, see, sometimes you think fighters are taking these kind of fights just for the money, but obviously in Bosworth's case, it's not the case. He's having a go here. Certainly not pacing it for a 10-rounder, that's for sure.
Great credit to Alan Bosworth. He winks this time at Neary at the end of the round.
Live from the London Arena, it's the battle of the London Giants as Arsenal, Chelsea, West Ham, Wimbledon and Charlton Athletic all in action in the final heat stages of the Masters football. Live and exclusive Wednesday night from 7:30 on Sky Sports 1. Back here at the Elephant and Castle, Shea Neary's come back. Let's rejoin Ian and Jim for round 3.
Thanks, Adam. Neary's in the black trunks here. He hasn't really settled at all so far. And Bosworth looking as if he fancies this. Neary must have got into the sauna yesterday to lose 5 pounds in an hour, and that's not recommended, is it, Jim?
No, I mean, the fighters all make mistakes with the scales, and a pound, and that's acceptable, but 3.5 pounds, really that's a disgrace. I mean, you wouldn't expect amateurs to do that, for heaven's sake, let alone professionals. That really is bad news.
It's all looking like hard work for Neary at the moment. Not his usual very sharp, exciting self. Psychologically, these contests, the one after the first defeat, mentally hard.
Yeah, and I don't quite know what Bosworth's plan is here. Does he think he can set this pace for 10 rounds and beat Neary, or is he showing the public at large that he's here to have a go, and as long as it lasts, he's going to have a go? But we've seen a couple of Mike Tyson opponents doing that, but there's certainly a lot more method and what Bosworth's doing. He really is having a go. We've got to give him 100% for that. But I wonder, is he expecting to win this fight or not?
Well, he started as if he's full of confidence. Not many people would give him a chance of winning the fight, almost nobody outside himself, but in a way, he's the only one that matters. He's the one fighting the fight. He rather walked into that left jab from Neary, then at last just finds the range with that punch.
The trouble with Bosworth punches, they're catching arms and shoulders. He's kind of scuffling with his punches. They're not really quality shots, but the fact that he's giving it such a good go is entertaining.
Looking a bit laboured, though, Neary. And the two shouts from behind me of "Take your time, Jimmy." That's Neary's real name. Jim, Shea's just a ring name. Right hand from Neary. A little bit of blood from the nose by the look of it of Bosworth.
Yeah, Bosworth putting an awful lot into these early rounds. That's what has me thinking. Is he expecting this to go the distance? Does he think he can win it? Or is he making sure he's putting up a show while he's in there?
A little right from Neary right at the end of the round. Well, I wonder what they're saying in the Shea Neary corner there. Mike Atkinson, Judas Clotty, George Schofield, the long-serving team.
10 seconds. Seconds out, round 4.
I thought Neary was maybe just outworked a little bit in that round. His punching is certainly better than Bosworth, but we need more of it and a bit more effort from him.
Round 4. Due to go 10. And this fight made at 10 stone 4 pounds. That's between light welterweight and welter. Might Neary have to reinvent himself as a welterweight somewhere down the road? Somewhere soon down the road, maybe. And the question then would be, would he be as effective at that weight? Still bags of ambition from Alan Bosworth, who clearly has not read the pre-fight script here.
I mean, does Neary not realise that the only way Bosworth can be successful with this style is to come forward? You have to back this fellow up. But Neary is not really doing that yet.
Not really making his extra class tell at the moment, Shea Neary. Seen a couple of good-looking left hooks, but an even better right hand there from Bosworth.
Bosworth is just a little bit too busy for Neary at the moment. Neary can't get settled.
And this might be a difficult time in Neary's career. He's been used to topping bills and being in exciting fights, getting the treatment. Here he is not topping the bill at the Elephant and Castle tonight. He's trying to work his way back. A different scenario.
It's taken far too long to get his punches off up close. I mean, he is a good body puncher, but he's taken far too long to get the punches out.
By his own high standards, Neary sluggish so far.
Very few clean punches landed from Neary in this round. Bosworth, his punches are kind of scuffling punches, but more are landing.
It's a really good effort so far from Alan Bosworth. He's the same age as Neary, 32.
Neary again missing, can't pin the fellow down.
Still to come tonight, Howard Eastman, who could be going places on the world scene at middleweight, with an interesting test against former world title challenger Ahmet Dotuev. Backstage, Howard Eastman is with Ed Robinson.
Thanks, Ian. Well, let's see if we can get a word with Howard Eastman. Howard, it's a risky fight for you tonight, but it does take you a step closer to a world title fight.
Yeah, that is so true, Ed. Every single one of these fights, coming up to a world title fight, is risky. And I can't afford to take any chances. None whatsoever.
Ahmed Dotuev was saying yesterday at the weigh-in that he expects to try and knock you out within 5 rounds, climb all over you, non-stop punches.
Ahmed is in his right to say that. Whether or not he'll be able to do that is a completely different thing.
Thank you.
Howard Eastman, who was over the limit himself at the weigh-in, first time of asking, 11 stone 8. Interesting. He comes up after this fight with Shea Neary. Struggling at the moment, it has to be said, as we go into round 5 against Northampton's Alan Bosworth, who's not really too much more than journeyman level domestically. But he's making a right argument of it so far. A couple of good little left hooks there from Neary. Haven't seen any of his trademark body shots, have we? And there's plenty of body to aim at with Bosworth.
Yeah, I've noticed that he's taken far too long to get the body shots off. Up close, Bosworth is the one getting the punches off, and Neary can't seem to find any momentum. Everything kind of disjointed.
Well, let's just hope this is an off night for Shea Neary, not the start of some downward slide in his career.
I mean, not a punch come out from Neary yet in this little exchange. Four misses now, really struggling badly.
Uppercut gets through from Bosworth. Not many of the others did. And then a right hand to another uppercut. Not much coming back from Neary.
He's been totally outworked. Again, I've actually scored the last 2 rounds to Bosworth just because the work he's putting out and the effort he's putting into the whole thing.
Hand speed seems so slow of Neary. He looks so flat. Flat and somehow full of doubt, self-doubt.
I don't know, maybe if he expected this to be easier than it is. If he was trying things and they weren't working, you would say, well, his timing's off. He's not even trying good things. I mean, he doesn't seem to have an idea what he's supposed to be about in there.
Needs to raise it, lift the tempo, Neary.
Again, look at the time he takes to get punches off here. They're not clinching, his arms are free, but he's not getting the punches out.
I'm not saying he is weight drained, but he's fighting like a man who might be.
Yeah, well, the signs are there. But you expect this at the end of a hard 10 round and not at the beginning of it. But Bosworth working all the way, and for me, outworking Neary. Neary coming back with nothing. And his own punches are missing anyway.
This is so far from Alan Bosworth. Chris Sanagar is there with him. When they came back to the corner, they said that was a really big round. You're doing it, you're doing it.
Yeah, well, he's the only one working, that's the thing. Okay, I'm not saying this is the highest quality boxing I've seen in recent times, but he's working. What he's got, he's putting into the job, and Neary is not doing that.
Only Roy Francis, the referee, scoring. I've got this fight level at the moment.
Well, I have Bosworth 1 round in front, I'm sure. Yep, if my arithmetic is right. Yep, I've given the last 3 rounds purely on effort and amount of punches, because Neary has done virtually nothing.
A little bit of blood around the forehead of Alan Bosworth. Neary needs to do something, needs to lift it, show his extra class. Maybe he'll do that, maybe he'll go through the gears. Decent right uppercut from him.
See, even with his physical strength, you would expect him to bully Bosworth a little bit, maybe push him around the ring, knock him off balance with his strength, then get the punches, but he's not even able to do that.
Looks like he's treading through treacle at this stage, Shea Neary.
These are just little arm punches now from Bosworth. He's feeling this pace as well. But he's never stopped working, full credit to him.
Just a question, too, of whether he can sustain it, of course, Bosworth. Usually when he's met top operators, he's lost. He's given it a real good go, but here we are in round 6, and the fight's due to go 10. So that's another thing to look for, maybe signs of tiredness from Bosworth.
Well, Neary's the one who's forcing everything, so, I mean, that is when you run out of steam. When things are going well, your boxing smooth, your timing's good, you do the job effortlessly. But Neary is forcing everything and using up more energy than he should be.
Dabbing away at his eye there, Bosworth. Don't know whether there's a cut developing, doesn't look like it for the moment.
Neary using the jab now.
Better accuracy, I think, in this round from Neary.
Yeah. He's catching him at long range now.
Prepared to stand and trade, but this is not at all the fight that most people envisaged. Most people had it down, frankly, as a mismatch. Hasn't turned out like that. Getting there with more shots in this round.
I think the natural strength may start to take over now. Neary is naturally a lot stronger than Bosworth, and they're both feeling the pace now, so maybe that strength will begin to pay dividends for them.
And just to reiterate, we reckon that on the night, maybe, as they're in the ring now, Neary half a stone or so heavier, probably. Well, that was Neary's best round, I think.
Yeah, well, he got him, at least he stood with Bosworth and teed off a few times on him. I thought his punching was better, but you still couldn't call it a good round.
He's landed 6 more punches, according to the computer. The computer, of course, is worked by human beings as well. People pressing buttons. So 30% success rate for Neary, Bosworth 18%. Think those figures tell the story?
Well, Bosworth certainly has thrown an awful lot of punches and they haven't all been accurate. But Neary has not been coming back with half as many as he should. Neary has to move up through the gears.
Well, those computer printout show that Bosworth is throwing 100 punches around as Neary's makes no difference.
Yeah, well, he never stops punching, so that is quite possible.
Here comes round 7, Neary. On the left of the picture as you look at them, in the black trunks, the purple of Northampton's Alan Bosworth. Neary looks as if he's going into serious overdrive now. Maybe his corner will say, come on, Jimmy. Time to get a move on, time to get to work.
Well,
Bosworth looks like he has a cut, Jim, by the left eye.
Well, John Hyland at ringside has been screaming at Neary for the last couple of rounds, so the Neary camp know he must produce better. And at least now he's dragging Bosworth into the trenches a little bit.
Not quite sure what happened there. Maybe been a few verbals, always a clash of heads. I think the heads banged together.
I think they were both just untidy and careless with the head. Nothing intentional, just that kind of fight.
Neary now looking to really tee off. Hard for Bosworth in this phase of the fight. Can he stay with it? More eye damage, maybe by the right eye is there for Bosworth. Starting to cut up. Had problems with that in the past. 10 stitches against Wayne Rigby he needed. Looking more tired now, Bosworth. Is his resistance beginning to crumble?
I think it's the physical strength of Neary paying dividends now, but there's definitely something wrong with Neary's boxing tonight. This is not the old Shea Neary we're used to seeing.
Now the body shots, then a right hand. Bosworth easier to hit, cut and bruised, and beginning to fall apart a little here. Neary leaving himself open, mind you, there. Desperation stuff from Bosworth. Within the space of a couple of rounds, Bosworth, from being very argumentative in the fight, is looking as if he is running out of gas.
But nothing wrong with his courage. I mean, the way he fought back then, I thought he was maybe beginning to wilt, but back he comes again.
Well, he's fighting with terrific intensity and ferocity, Bosworth. He's doing everything he knows to try and upset the apple cart here. Neary himself, his own defence looking quite open. Looking very tired, Alan Bosworth, and he's got every right to look tired.
Well, full credit, whatever happens from here on in, full credit. He surprised me with his tactics in the early rounds. I wondered, does he fancy this job that he can take Neary all the way? Well, he's doing far better than that. I had him ahead in points. I think I have it sliding slightly in Neary's favour now, just because his strength now is beginning to give Bosworth a problem.
Well, it looked touch and go just for a little while for Shea Neary earlier on, but I think he's in control of things now.
And I really think that's just down to his strength rather than his boxing, because desire, commitment and everything else has certainly come from Bosworth. No questions can be asked of his courage or his commitment. Neary just couldn't get started, but suddenly the pace has slowed down, and a bit more success now for Neary.
Neary was hit with a very good right hand, wasn't he, in that exchange? Just looking at it again. Here's the 8th round, due to go 10. Neary with his back to you, the former now WBU light welterweight champion, one of the lesser regarded titles, of course, but it earned plenty of money for Neary, and he was in some cracking fights in defence of it. Notably the one in the tent in Stanley Park, Liverpool, against Andy Holligan. Wonderful local derby, that. Not so much in the legs of Bosworth, you sense now. More static target. Remember Neary saying at ringside after the Mickey Ward fight that he might call it quits there, but he obviously quickly changed his mind.
Yeah, well, as I said just before the first bell, he came out of that fight with so much credit, probably as much credit as any of his wins. So I think that's probably one of the things that's given him a second thought. And we felt he still has so much to offer, but this has been a poor showing from him tonight. Just couldn't get his show on the road tonight.
And it's not often we've said that about Shea Neary, is it, to be fair to him?
His boxing has actually improved, but some of that might be the fact that Bosworth is slowing slightly. He's beginning to catch him at long range now. He's certainly throwing better punches now, Neary.
This is better from Neary, finding the range with the jab, starting to bring in a few combinations. Neary has been boxing since he was 15 years of age. That's 17 years in all, amateur and pro. Long time. Great left hook from him, and another one. Bosworth increasingly easy to hit now. What a tribute, though, to how well he's prepared for tonight, Alan Bosworth.
He's never been troubled by any of Neary's punching. Neary's punching, the timing hasn't been right, so a lot of the power has been lost. But full credit to Bosworth, he couldn't ask of any more.
Bosworth still looking to come forward. Question hanging in the air, can Neary hit the heights for a second time in his career? I think Neary's pulling away a bit on the scorecards now, but it's been a, well, heroic effort, really, from Alan Bosworth. There's Chris Sanagar in the corner, and the Neary corner. As we look at the computer, that's just round 8 you're looking at those statistics. 45% success rate for Neary is to 11% for Bosworth, who only landed 7 punches.
And the thing that is noticeable, when Neary gets to work, his punching is certainly better quality than Bosworth. So when he gets himself together and he gets the punches going, as you see here, good, cleanly delivered shots, but they just not been enough of them in the earlier rounds. He's getting to work now. And on my card, heading towards the win he badly needs.
There's Jim's scorecard. I've got it a point wider than that, but I think Neary, beyond dispute, is taking control now after looking, well, for him, pretty terrible for the first 5 or 6 rounds. Now the left hook and a little nod of appreciation from Bosworth. Sometimes see that between 2 experienced pros.
You can't speak too highly of Bosworth. He's never stopped coming forward, given this everything that he's got.
Hope he isn't doing some long distance lorry driving tomorrow after this.
Well, it's looking like he's going to go the distance in this trip anyway, so that would be nice. An achievement which we didn't expect him capable of at the start of this fight.
Yeah, he deserves to hear the final bell here, Bosworth. Oh, tremendous left hook. He might not hear if he takes too many more of them. He's hurt by that. Neary knows it. It was a big shot. Oh, but look at Bosworth come back. His own left hook was good. Just seemed to bounce off the chin of Neary, who's now really planting his feet and looking for some power. Wants to take Bosworth out of there.
That was a sickening shot, that one, especially this late in a tough battle. So again, full credit to Bosworth for taking that and firing back. Can't speak too highly of him.
Swollen around the face now, Bosworth, wearing the scars of the battle. Can he get through it, though? Because these are now heavy punches that Neary is driving home.
But he's not looking to survive, to see the fight out. He's still competitive. He's still in there trying to win this.
Bosworth has already lasted a lot longer than most experts thought he would. Nasty gash under the right eye. Swelling too.
It's amazing that he's still making Neary back off, isn't it? Who would have thought this?
Right eye's in danger of closing for Bosworth, I think, because his cheeks swelling up quite rapidly. Tough way to make a living for him, but you have to say this hasn't been one-sided, certainly not all the way. Has been the last 3 rounds or so, and that right eye is closed, I think, now. Now they've got to look at Bosworth. I mean, it'd be a shame if he couldn't just go another 3 minutes, but how much more has he got left?
I mean, apart from one clean shot bang on the chin, he's not shipping punishment. He's been pummeled around, but he's still got the experience, and that was a sickening punch. How he could take that, you can see the look on his face as that landed, but he looked straight back at Neary and back into the action again. Just waited till his head was cleared. But as I say, that at this late stage in a tough battle, that was a sickening fight. But look what he comes back with.
Yeah, what a brave man. What a brave man. Tremendous from Alan Bosworth. Right eye is closed now, so he'll be boxing with one eye for the last round. Neary's landed 188, Bosworth 161. I've got Neary 4 points ahead. Jim, you've got it, what, by 3, is it?
3 points ahead, I have.
Sanagar tells Alan Bosworth, grit your teeth like you've never done before. This is about winning it. Well, I don't think he can win it now unless he knocks Neary out. We don't think so anyway. But what an effort this is from Bosworth in the face of what looked impossible odds at the start of the fight.
I think one of the slight disappointing things about Neary, he looks to have plenty left. Now, at this stage in the fight, you shouldn't have plenty left. You should have been using it up during the course of the rounds. But his legs still look strong. Why didn't he produce more punches earlier on?
I don't know, maybe there's been a little motivation problem for him for this fight.
We've got that, and we've got the question over the weight, I suppose. So both things considered. Maybe he's due an off night, everybody has them.
Well, if one guy is allowed an off night, I would say, in British boxing, it is Shea Neary, after all the excitement he's given.
I mean, Neary's actually coasting here, using the ring, flitting around, keeping out. When did we ever see him do that before? I mean, this is the British boxing's real fighting man, and he's actually coasting in the last round here.
Well, I think it might have been pretty hard for him too, at stages here tonight. Two more left hooks. Bosworth has 1¼ minutes to see out, and he fully deserves to do that. Still trying to come forward as well. Sometimes the story isn't with the star, sometimes it's with the journeyman, and I fancy that's the case here.
Well, all credit to Bosworth. Can't speak highly enough of him. His commitment, his desire, the way he's just ignoring the pain, keep coming forward. It's been a tremendous effort from him.
We're half a minute away from knowing how Roy Francis has seen this. It's great effort again, even in the last round from Bosworth, who, seeing the finishing tape ahead of him, has been energized by that. From Neary's point of view, you'd have to say he's made very, very hard work of it, and often looked way off form. It's one of the worst performances of his career, but he gets the win anyway. But fantastic effort from Alan Bosworth, who started as a no-hoper and gave it a really good go. Look at his face. That is the performance, even in defeat, of his career, I would say.
Definitely. I mean, we expected nothing from him, and we got everything from him. So, full credit. He's earned his money tonight. I mean, I thought, especially with his tactics in the early round, did he really believe he could do this for 10 rounds? Well, he shut my face up, and I've got to give him credit for that. He did it. He was here to win, gave everything he had, and what a tremendous show he put up.
Have to be 1 or 2 question marks about Neary's preparation too for this fight, coming in 3.5 pounds over the agreed limit at the weigh-in. Was he properly motivated? Was the build-up right? How much did the Mickey Ward fight take out of him? Can he get back to world level? They are all questions that will need to be answered in his next couple of fights, Jim.
Yeah, and you only have to look at his corner. I mean, they know as well as I'm sure Shea does, that was not a good performance. There's no signs of elation. He's won a fight here, But look at the faces of his cornermen. They know that was a struggle and a lot of work to do to get him back up where he used to be.
But the right winner of the fight, no doubt about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 10 outstanding rounds of boxing, your referee Roy Francis has scored the contest as follows. For Bosworth, 95 points. For Neary, 98 points. Your winner, from Liverpool, he's back, Shea Neary.
He's back, but he's not back with a bang. A 3-point margin, that was exactly how I had it, and Jim too. 98 to 95 for Shea Neary, but he'll want to improve on that next time out.